Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from Pilsen in the Czech Republic and the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification Event 2017. Final day of action here in Pilsen, a city with 700 years of history and located in the western part of the Czech Republic. We've seen some real drama over the last couple of days in the Košutka Arena, and more to come, because this is the day everything is decided already. China's women team have booked their place in the Olympic Games. Now the one remaining place to be settled, and it's Italy against Denmark, the losers of that 1-2 game playing Denmark. I'm Alison Walker, and with me for live commentary in this game, Sander Rovag. Here are the players. We have lead for Italy, Angela Romi. Second, Stefania Constantini. Third player for Italy, Veronica Sabaponi. And the skip for Italy, Diana Gaspari. And the lead for Denmark, Mathilde Hause. Julie Denise Dupont, the third for Denmark. And the Danish skip, Madeleine Dupont. So, two sets of players. And these are the standings. Italy, China and Denmark were the three qualifying teams. And Italy played China in that 1v2, and it was China who go through with that first Olympic place. And now it's Italy, the losers, against Denmark. Czech Republic just missing out, and Latvia, Germany and Finland bringing up the rest of the standings. So the players not looking too tense at this stage, but so much at stake. There's the format for you. Italy, China, and China going through to book that first slot, and then the losers, Italy, playing Denmark, getting a second chance to get that second place at Pyeongchang 2018. So it's going to be a tense one. The only game going on inside the arena at the moment. So let's catch a word with Sander before things get underway. How do you think this one will go?
Well, you just look at how the teams have prepared for this game. Denmark just had a practice last night, but they did play a game in the morning, so it's not like they've had a full day off without any games. For Italy, of course, coming off that defeat yesterday, it's tough to recuperate, but at least they've had to sleep on it. Should be enough time to get back in it. But maybe Denmark a slight advantage, just because they're not coming off a defeat. But Italy will have the hammer coming down from the 1-2 game, so I guess those two advantages, they kind of equalize. So it's very, very open for me.
Yep, it's going to be a close one, this. I think Diana Gaspari was disappointed she didn't perform better in that game against China, but what an opportunity to make up for that. Anyway, here we go. Mathilde Hause, the lead player for Denmark, just 18 years old, and with the possibility of going to an Olympic Games. She's still a student, first year on this team. I was at the European Championships with them just a couple of weeks ago. From Greenland originally. For Italy is Angela Romi, just 20, lives in Pinerolo, and is also a student.
Yeah, so you look at the teams, both have very young front ends, so there's going to be some pressure on them, and it's going to be up for the more experienced players on the teams to make sure they keep calm and focused. The Denise Dupont sisters, of course, played hundreds of games, and they should be quite comfortable at this level.
The coach must be saying, just treat it as another game of curling, but it's not just another game of curling.
For Italy, Diana Gaspario, of course, also very experienced, and she's going to have to try and do the same for her team. But she doesn't have the Sapone at third, a little bit older, but still very young, 24. So it's not always that easy keeping your team calm from the skip position. So I think it's down to Sapone, the third. She's quite a bubbly girl, and she's able to keep spirits high in the team.
Angela Romy, known as the kind of joker in the team. We had a chat with Diana earlier this week, telling us about her team. Already the Italian men have made it to the Olympic Games, beating Denmark in the men's 1v2. So this is Julie Hög, that young 18-year-old that you were mentioning, Sander. First year on the team, but they've had a great week, haven't they?
Yeah, it's quite incredible actually. Two 18-year-olds as front-end players and a chance to get to the Olympic Games. It speaks to probably the experience of the Dupont sisters, been able to take them on and teach them a lot. And, they've done quite well, the young girls.
Stefania Constantini, another 18-year-old on the ice today, 8 years curling, and the first year on this team. Always get lots of smiles out of her. She seems to have really enjoyed herself this week.
Yeah.
Rules of play for this qualification playoff game is 8 ends, not 6 as it was in the round robin. It's 8 ends, 38-minute thinking time, and the one that's second time out as well. So another rule there, have to release before that red hog line. And you can see that was a valid one because the green light was on.
Yeah, nothing too complicated in the first end here. Looking more and more like a blank.
And he's desperate to have a go, or she. Let me out. Lots of families involved in curling. A lot of them coming along to support these teams.
Stefania Constantini, first season on this team. She played her first international competition at the Europeans just a couple of weeks ago and ended up medaling bronze. So it's quite a debut.
Yep, not bad for your first outing at a championship.
So just enough to get into the rings here. Denmark will play the hit and roll. Just got to be slightly careful, not jamming at the back.
Denise Dupont, she's 33. Denise, and she's a teacher when she's not curling. I think 20 years nearly a curler. Already played in 2 Olympic Games, which is phenomenal. 2006 and 2010 in Vancouver. And this is Veronica Zapponi. Again, one of the younger members of the team, just 24. Who's in Volviera. And girls out of Pinerolo. Played in the Women's Worlds earlier this year.
See Italy pulling up short, leaving a guard, but Denmark's not going to play around. Quite happy to leave this end being a blank.
Godt spillet, Niels. Godt set, Malle. Godt fad. Okay. Buona. Buona. 8. Per ora di là no. 8 va bene, anche qua. Va bene anche 9. Ok, allora andiamo? Tira 9. Sta rallentando il filo. Tira, linea perfetta. 9. Tira forte. 10 no, 10 no, solo qua. 10. Solo qua, senza spostare quella dietro. Solo possiamo andare? No. Brava. Bravissima. Brave. Ha fatto un po' lei, quindi. Ah, vabbè. Sì. Prendimi va. Ja. Ik kan niet eens. Ja. Perfect. En sten imellem dem eller sådan noget. Ja.
So on to the skip stones, Madeleine Dupont. She's 30, younger sister, telling her older sister what to do from Copenhagen. And everything cleared away.
Stop. 95. Proviamo l'appoggio. Penso che con 90, no? Posso arrivare dietro? Sì. Ok. 8. Buona. 8, 9. Qua sulla scopa. 9, 10. 9.
Diana Gasperi,
10.
Italian skip.
Stasi, dobbiamo tenere la linea. Scusa. 9. Sì. Usciamo. 9. 9, 10. Ah. Quant'ero? Io ho preso un 90. Ben giocato. Sì, l'ho tenuta su. Diciamo che già.
That's normally quite a good drawer, Gaspari.
13,5 på begge deres, der kører lige igennem. Ja. Så vi er nede på sådan noget.
Bit of an early mistake. She did have struggles with draws yesterday in the 1-2 game. That cost them quite a lot.
15.
And she'll be needing to find that draw weight again. She's one of the best drawers in the women's field. Actually, a slight chance for Madeleine Dupont to freeze onto the back reds here and create a bit of a problem for Italy in terms of getting the blank here. So this one also sailing through. Quite a sloppy first end here. I'm sure there's some nerves just settling.
At this stage, all the players feeling it. We saw it in the men's game too. Nobody wants to make that mistake that could cost and have such implications. Maybe being overcautious. Diana Gasperi, 33 years old, 21 years she's been curling. She's an accountant. Born in San Candido and plays out of Cortina. Sending that one all the way through.
9 secondi, l'hai tenuta su bene, è andata un po'. L'hai detta in là? Sì. 9 secondi. Però l'hai tenuta su bene questa.
So it remains the same score to that blanked end. Italy 0, Denmark 0.
Linje god. 7. Køler en hel del lige nu. 7. Køler rigtig meget faktisk. 7. Bare vær sikker. Køler rigtig meget. Quanto? 2.
14,95.
4,10.
Sì.
Tre vicino. 4. L'hai tenuta, vero? 4, 5.
Angela Romy,
Magari si ferma, 5.
new
Sto
player.
rallentando, però non so se siamo fuori. Siamo ancora forti. Facciamo 70. No, 5, 6.
Mistake
Che, scusate.
here, slipping into the rings with that corner guard.
94.
Saw that a few times.
94.
Pardon, this morning. Seems like pretty quick moving into the wings. And we've seen a couple of draws come out heavy so far in the game. So maybe it's a tad quicker than yesterday. But all in all, I think the speeds have been very consistent all week. I'm sure it could just be the heart racing a little bit as well.
Yeah, it gives you that extra adrenaline. Hits and rolls in behind the other yellow, just a bit further out though than she would have wanted.
Aldrig kommer så langsomt ud på en tækker.
Well, sticking to the game plan here, Italy, they're going to throw the corner guard again. Sometimes when you throw the first one into the rings and your opponent is able to sit two, you kind of start bailing already with the second stone. But bring up the corner, so clearly looking to score their two here.
Yeah, the temptation is to just react to those other two, isn't it?
Shows that Gaspar is not afraid to put some stones in play here. I think for a lot of teams in a game like this, it's you tend to be a little cautious. But you want to put some pressure on your opponent.
And she removes the guard.
Buona linea. 3. Sola. Al momento 3. 3. Così. No, Angie. No. Che non entri. Via. Sola. Sola 3. Resta fuori? Adesso vediamo. Dovrebbe rallentare. Vediamo. Siamo forse su Czech Republic. 15,70. Siamo sulla riga. Vicino a Czech Republic. No, per niente. Brava. Ok, Steffi.
And Italy replace it.
Var den lige før, eller var den lidt kort? Det var 9,5.
You can see her throw quite a lot of rotation on this one. Just makes it go a bit straighter. Also, it makes contact all spin off easier, so it's good for peeling guards. It ends up making the double off her own, but it's still good. Sits 2. Good start.
Yep, looking fairly relaxed, Team Denmark.
Now after just seeing that they're not going to get any mistakes from Denmark, they want to make a play on the yellows, but that's from Constantini. Leaves Denmark still sitting 2.
Ulrik Schmidt, coach from Denmark.
A two-time Olympian himself. Skipped the Danish teams both in Salt Lake in 02 and Vancouver in 2010.
Den ser længere ud. Den ser virkelig hurtig ud. Nej, altså det ligner en hakfart.
This one running a bit hot too.
Okay, kom igen, Denise.
Yep.
Sorry.
She
Vi
apologises.
gjorde ikke noget jo. Vi klarer det helt af sig selv.
Così. Ok. Normale, 9,5.
Well, already Italy men have qualified for the Olympic Games and enjoying that moment. Søren Gran, coach of Italy, and he'd love to see the Italian women go through as well. But so with the Danish bench, long way to go here yet.
Well, it'll be quite a successful season for Søren Gran so far, medalling at the Europeans with this women's team. And to have both qualify for the Olympics would be something special. And when the men qualified for the Olympics, it was technically the first time Italy's qualified for the Olympics on ice. They played once before, but they were host nation, so it's just a different feeling. Talking to Retro Nasbø after the game, it's quite more special too.
Yep, totally there on merit.
Yep.
Yeah, the celebrations were quite something. Gives you an idea of just how much it means to these players to get to the Olympic Games, the pinnacle of the sport.
The second time Denise Dupont's been quite off on the takeout here. She had a similar miss in the first end. So Italy with the open hit here and could quite easily get the blank. Two misses from Dupont really. Denise. That yellow on the back line's that draw that just went through and rolls out in the second one. So having a bit of a nervy start.
Quite inside the arena. You hear the roar of the stone on the ice.
Yep. 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 Okay. Yep. Okay.
She's been pretty good this week, Madeleine Dupont. Except for she has had 2 bad games, but 4 really great games. So it's just we'll just see.
And have the great games when it really matters.
Yeah, that's the most important.
Mezzo piena. Se riesce a spostarsi uno stone verso destra, meglio.
So a couple of stones left for Diana Gaspari. Trying to engineer a 2 if she can. She doesn't like it.
Ok. 9,70. No, la velocità era buona.
So we'll actually have a very similar situation that we had in the first end. He's going to freeze to a back rock that's just out of the rings. Pretty much the exact same spot as in the first end. And well, in the first end, Dupont through the house, so see if she can take couple of feet off this draw. Make it just a little bit harder for Gaspari to peel for the blank.
Det må ikke ske mere i den der. At vi ikke ved, hvor den skal hen. Du ved, hvor den skal hen. Var der ikke en af jer, der sagde, at det er 6? Nej. De sagde 6.
Forces Diana to play the out turn here, but I don't think, even if she perfectly jams on the red, I don't think the shooter's going to be in the house, so it should be safe.
Last one of the second end. 0-0 after the first.
Brava Diana.
And it will be 0-0 after the second end. Both these first ends blanked. A bit of tension out there, probably suiting both players at this stage too. Not too much going on. So 0-0 after 2.
Ma è dispari, vuoi andare per farne 2?
Qua dietro? No, lei andrà a guardia.
Andrà a guardia, andiamo dietro a 5. Ok.
Sì. Purtroppo.
Ah?
Sì, sarebbe bello fare un'altra.
Però, ja. Hvor meget? 7. Rosa. 6. Ja, det er der, det skal være. Så behøver I ikke. 5. 5. Så må jeg meget gerne. Helt ind i 6. Helt ind i 6. Helt ind i 6.
Third end, and at some point, these teams is going to make a move. She's still with a hammer.
Ok, adesso arriva. Andrei un po'. Tira un po'. Vai. Ok,
There's
basta.
some blanked ends in the other game,
Siamo sulla scaletta.
qualification game.
Ok, Angie.
And this is a happy bunch there. There he is, the skip of the Italy team, and their whole management behind them. Amos Mossinar, fantastic performance. And what about this final zone standard?
Yeah, just didn't have a lot to draw to. Mossinar called this right away and off. Sticks the red but keeps the shooter in the 8th foot for the win. Incredible.
Look at that reaction. I think it means a lot to them.
You think?
Great stuff, and I'm sure we'll see similar after this one. One of these teams will be going to the Olympic Games, enjoying watching it themselves. All that hard work paid off for them. Players here have to just focus on this game, this job in hand, not think too far ahead in terms of what happens after the game.
Lascia che Kirli. Va bene, meglio, lascia che Kirli. Qua solo 4, deve curlare. Deve curlare. Vai, vero. Tutto vero. Tira. tutta che va, vai ancora. Ok.
So Pony working hard there, trying to bring that round behind the other red.
97. Denise.
Another good shot here by Julie Hög. Impressive start. You know, they placed 8th at the European Championships. I think just that week for the team has been quite beneficial in terms of getting ready for this qualification event. They didn't really receive a lot of funding back home. Not been able to play too many tour events. So obviously a European Championship is quite a good scene to get the team to gel. It's always a little bit different playing the championships, just the schedule, the ice, pre-game practice, the whole routine, 10 end games and so forth. So it's just been a great experience, I think, for especially the two young front-end players of Denmark. And the same for Italy, of course, but they did quite well at the Europeans already. So it comes a little bit deep with the second one here.
Okay. Come again.
9, va bene. Sì, tutta. Sì, forte, tieni dritta, fortissimo, sì, tutta, ancora, fortissimo. Ok, Steffi.
Samme skud, 4-5.
Ja.
Danish counter left. Nice.
Ja. Omkring de 25. Det er meget plads.
3, 4.
Rigtig meget plads.
4. 4.
Ja, I bytter bare.
3.
Ja! Ja!
3.
Kom nu, Pia! Ja!
Julie, lidt mere.
Julie, kom nu! Ja! Med nu, Julie, med nu!
Yep. Extra shout for Yuli there. That sweeping.
Puoi giocare un 10,5. 10,5, ok.
Well, it keeps the shot still open, but at least shows the correct side. You know, Italy won't be able to hit this and roll towards the corner guard, so keeping the play on the open end.
Brava.
Moves out.
Still not looking too comfortable, Denise Dupont.
She wasn't saying anything there, it was all from the other end.
Kind of erring on the wrong side there. It'd be much better off nose hitting and at least keeping the stone in play. Now it's a bit of a freebie draw to come around the corner guard for his opponent. They're here to see the rock lock, so just see if we can. Quite a few draws been coming up a little heavy, so I'm just wondering if it's a little quicker. Around 14.5 is what we've been looking at the whole week. 15-1. And coming into the top of the house nicely, so looks pretty much about the same. You know, speed's been consistent. So as the curl, there's no frost really.
She's happy with that one.
She's actually over curled a little bit, but you're much better off showing the outside because pretty tough to come on the out turn there and try and fish it out.
Jeg bare, der er masser af plads til den, gør det ikke? Jo. Ej, godt se herfra, er det svært. Og skal rundt om den der derfra. Hvor meget is vil jeg have? 15? Ja. Ej, vi fik, hvad havde du på den sidste, der havde 19?
So instead of coming after that red stone and perhaps wrecking on the guard, leaving Italy a chance to split the house, she's thinking, well, you know, you may as well play a more aggressive shot here, come around the center guard. You know, it's so often about what you leave the opponent. So instead of missing a tough shot, he's going to make a good one here, and Gaspari's going to have to make a good one. Get the rock clock once more. The other path coming to the forfeit. 13-8. Not too much sweeping, coming in top 4, so yeah, maybe a couple feet quicker than yesterday, if anything. That's a great draw, by the way. Absolutely buried.
You couldn't place that better, could you? If you'd gone down and actually placed it yourself.
Oddio, non vedo mica niente però. Che non vedo niente
Gives
di
you an idea
niente.
just how far these stones go.
Vuoi provare comunque o vuoi fare questo?
Facciamo quello.
Gaspari sitting in the hacks, saying, oh, I can't really see anything in that rock. And changing the call now, instead of coming after it and trying to tap it, they're going to run the guard back. It's not her bread and butter kind of shot, but just try and pick it off the forfeit here.
Key here, keeping it straight.
Just going to overcurl, but we'll open it up. Now two options if you're Denmark. Either you replace the guard, knowing that if you end up over curling, you leave a shot for 2. Sometimes what a lot of players say is second shot's the best guard, so you could come into the house here and lie 2. Just got to make sure not to leave a double if you do that. But the call is the guard. You know, she's just thrown the draw here. So same broom, same line, just take a couple of feet off the pedal and just put it right in front. It'll be tough for Italy to score the 2. Yeah, curling a little early here. Just want this one to stop. Oh. Has it moved too far? I think it has.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got a great view of that at the other end.
Det er lige præcis det der, jeg mener. Så må vi hellere trække den ind. Den har jo masser af fart til at blive trukket ind.
Denise Dupont saying, well, if we didn't have the line, we should have swept that to get it in for second shot. It's a tough, it's quite a tough call to make that early. You know, you're not far off the line here.
Un pelo meno, sai?
Il ghiaccio?
Sì.
And you would have to
Tiro
sweep
quasi.
it
Sì, tirerò un 10.
pretty much the whole way to be able
un po'
to
all'inizio però per sicurezza.
Sì.
nibble the 8-foot.
There's a view from the Italian bench, looking down.
Fantastic chance here to score 2. Finally in the third end after 2 blanks.
Yeah. Could we get a score here?
Angela,
Angie!
Angela!
Angie!
And it rolls out, the shooter rolls out. That is an opportunity lost. Shaking her head.
9 e mezzo.
So let's take another look. What went wrong here, Sander?
Angie!
Just
Angie!
Just too much weight or too much ice or combination.
it all means it is just 1 for Italy after that third end. Italy 1, Denmark 0.
Linea buona! 3 vicina! 3! Occhio che non rallenti. Solo linea! 3!
Che non entri, che non entri.
3 molto vicino!
No.
Forse 4!
3. Si ferma, 3.
15:40.
Sì, 3. Ad Angie piacciono le righe, gli sponsor.
Brava.
Brava Angie. Brava Steffi. Sorpresa. 90? 93. Ma l'avrà risucchiata un po'.
Overall, for the tournament, Mathilde Halse is 75%, the Danish lead.
10. Nej.
I mean, she's in the middle of the pack for leads this week.
Okay, kom igen, Mathilde. Den sidder rigtig godt.
Jeg kunne godt have på fornemmelsen, at der køler en lille smule mere.
She's you know, been all up and down. Had a decent start to this game. That one just slipping all deep. Did wonder if the ice is maybe a couple of feet quicker than yesterday. So if that's the case, the players just need to adjust ever so slightly.
4! Da tenere! Tieni! C'è 4, tieni! 5! C'è spazio, no! Aspetta! Occhio, occhio, tieni linea! No, c'è spazio! C'è spazio! Vai, vero, tutta! Tutta che è perfetta, vai che va! Tira che va, ancora, vai giù, dai che va, ancora! Perfetta!
Really good draw here by Angela Romay.
Vai, vero, tutta che è perfetta, vai che va, tira che va, ancora, vai giù, dai che va, ancora, perfetta.
Den er lang.
And she'd be looking to try and put this right on the corner of the red stone, but calling this back 8, so
Er et helt sekund hurtigere end hendes.
still heavy. Would love to be able to move the red a little bit, but
Okay, kom igen, Mathilde.
just a nudge.
Vil I tage min stopzone?
Normale, 9,5. Sì, forte! Sì, 9,5. Aspetta. Prende il roll? Sì che fa roll, vai. Brava. Ja. Ja.
Hugo, 78%.
Ja, helemaal!
Well, she's enjoyed a good start to the game. This one just over curl, however. That does the most important thing here. And just opens up the front. Of course, Italy will replace the guard.
Linea buona. 3. Deve curlare, deve curlare. 3. Aspetta che deve curlare tanto. 6, quando vuoi. 3, sì, siamo fuori. 2, 3, Angela. Vai, Angela. No, no, va sola. No, no. 2. Va sola, va sola, va sola. 2 e mezzo. 2 e mezzo. Perfetta. Brava, Stefi.
Finds a good spot.
Go. Go. Ja, samen. Ja. Wow. Wow.
Denise, du skal videre på den, tror jeg. Ja, ud som cornerguard. Væk med den, væk med den, væk med den.
This time catches it a bit too full.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind rolling to a corner there, but leaves a center guard.
Wow. Wow.
Denise, du skal videre på den, tror jeg. Ja, ud som cornerguard. Væk med den, væk med den, væk
She
med den.
knows straight away, doesn't she?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's seen enough stones run out of the ice to realize what's going to happen.
Veronica Zapponi,
Ok, aspetta. 2.
similar
Aspetta il
start to the others,
Dovrebbe
in the
arrivare
mid-70s.
Se 3 arriva sola, se no bisogna andare. 2. No, 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 no. 2 e mezzo. Aspetta. No, 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 solissimo, solissimo, sto vedendo perché. Oh, vai un po', vai, 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 vai che chiude il buco, vai che chiude il buco. Ok, 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 perfetta.
The guard replaced.
I think this time the run back is called, so Denise Dupont, who's had a tough game so far, would love to make a good one here. Run the red back and try and pick 1 or maybe 2 red stones off the forefoot.
Oh, she nearly did get a third one there. Tickled it.
Still a pretty good shot now. So clearly you just need to throw, you know, some lower percentage shots, and she'll make them for you.
That was not far away from that other one. The third red.
And she's made some mistakes on some simple shots, but good to know that she can step up for the big ones. Might have to play it again if Zappone comes around perfectly here. So run back called again, now on the other guard. Of course, if she played the same run and just split the guard, the reds would still be buried, so you throw and run this guard in case you miss it, at least you open them up. This one's just going to over curl. Close, but just not quite.
Okay, godt besøg, Denise.
The bad thing for Denmark is that Shooter's now rolled
Davanti a questo.
to the right of our screen there, sort of taking away the outturn draw.
Anche 4 e
So
15.
very hard to get in there now for shot stone if you're Denmark.
Tanto la linea è importante.
As long as Kaspari is
Guardia.
able to throw a decent guard.
4-10 entro, no?
Sì, entri.
Entro con 4-20? Ah, ma sì, un 4-15 per una guardia. Se basta che non entri in casa. Per essere sicuro vuoi andare un 4-20? Sì, ok.
Well, it could make the shot for 2 in the third end. Well, she has a good chance of setting up for steal here.
Steffi?
4, 3 molto vicina.
3 vicina.
Vieni un po' su
Forse
linea.
siamo già a
5. Linea buona.
5.
6 T-line. T-line.
Sicure?
Siamo
T-line,
veloci, sì,
8.
siamo
Sì,
di
allora.
8.
Sì. 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 Sì.
That's a huge mistake. Comes up heavy
Ho preso 95 io.
and allowing Denmark now to make a play into the forefoot. Huge mistake.
Yep, she knows that.
It's nowhere close really. It's a bit surprising. Starting to wonder if the pressure is getting to Diana as well.
Men det er ikke at ramme den position.
Sì. Ja.
She might have felt responsible for the game yesterday, not making her last shots, but the whole team really failed. And you know, if you're facing 3 and 4 counters every end, it's not a good team effort. But you know, here the team's been setting up for a steal the whole end and not even able to capitalize. So Madeleine Dupont will try and play a double and perhaps even roll in behind the cover.
Go ahead. Oh, Denise.
71%.
Alt du har. Bare mere.
It's not a good effort. Just set it out and just didn't come back.
There's a bit of let off as far as Italy are concerned.
See here at release, just
Go ahead.
set it out too much. Just wide off the bat. Wanted to catch the inside of that rock. So Italy sitting 2 and they're going to come into the house this time. Try and make the scoring area as small as possible for Denmark. You throw a guard here. It's not really doing much. Denmark comes around it anyway, so you come pretty tight with this one. Maybe even all the way into the forefoot.
73%, so all functioning around about the same percentage in that Italy team. Nobody outstanding as yet.
Quanto ne ha? 5. Qua. 5. Qua sulla scoppa. Secondo me sei già lì, Angie. Sono lì. Ok.
That is pretty good there, actually.
Quant'era?
I think it's just enough so Denmark can play the nose hit here and get the single point. It's tough to outdraw because you're coming across the center line and you're very easily over curl. So I think the only shot left for Denmark is to play a tiny hit and roll here.
Måske en 11'er. Hvad tror du ellers? Det er ren eller ikke? Er det ikke farligt?
Could maybe come down onto the back red.
Vi er
That's
lidt i
what she's
tvivl
looking
om,
at with a draw.
Vi er i tvivl om, den kommer til at ligge, hvis vi ruller den.
Ja.
Det er ikke mere end en hakfart, hvis det er. Måske en 11'er kan gøre det. Det kan nok godt, men vi skulle lidt i tvivl om det egentlig. Alternativet er det rene indlæg hernede. Så kan jeg godt lide den anden. Ja. 11?
Madeleine Dupont saying, well, we can play the little hit and roll or the draw. Denise Dupont, sister, says, well, I quite like the hit and roll, so that's the call. No need to throw too much weight here, really. You know, throw a big weight and you catch a a little off, you roll out. You throw even just hack weight coming down here. It's a bigger chance the shooter's going to stick around. So just a little bit on the inside, try and roll the shooter in for one.
Last stone facing a couple of 3 reds, in fact. When she comes, has she done enough? And it sticks out a little bit. Yep. 1 for Italy. A few errors creeping into both plates. A steal of 1 for Italy. 2-0 after 4.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
Sì, no, è meno.
Allora tieni linea, se
5.
Se è meno tieni linea.
5.
Tira, se no andiamo in overkill.
3.
Tira tutta, deve entrare. Oh, basta.
3.
Basta, facciamo una guardia laterale. È chiusa? Sì.
Rigtig god retning.
Lina, vi skal have.
3. Linjen er perfekt. 3. Så lidt tættere.
You're watching coverage from the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're live in the Koszutska Arena in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me Sandra Rovag, bringing you live commentary on this crucial game now between Italy and Denmark. The winners booked that other place in the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang next year. And right now it's Italy who have a 2-0 lead after the first 4 ends. They've been very cautious, nothing too flashy. We've sensed nerves, overdoing things, underdoing things. This is what happens, I guess, Sander, when so much is at stake.
Yeah, we saw it on the men's game earlier this morning. I mean, there was some early nerves, but the game started to shape up in the last couple of ends, and hopefully we'll see the same here. Dupont was quite close to making that hit and roll for 1 in the 4th. Called off the sweepers in the end and ended up over-rolling, so a bit of a missed line call. At the same time, could have thrown less weight. Of course, the bigger weight you throw, the flatter the roll's going to be.
Det kan være, du skal trække den, Denise. Ja, den er en 8-9. Yes, Denise, go. Yep, 10 stopper. 10 stopper. Du er godt for den op. Manu. Lidt Manu. Super god fart, Mathilde.
Mathilde Halse. The lead here. Wanting a better start. You know, it was her 2 missed shots there in the 4th end that got Denmark in trouble. And they couldn't quite bounce back from it.
Yeah, the set-up play, always so important.
Look to draw around the corner, just sits very much in the open, so Stefania Constantini will be able to make the hit and roll here.
Brava Steffi.
Good shot.
Brava Diana.
Nicely done, Brava, says her skip.
Beinhack.
Flanks the court.
Denmark seeing that if they come around the corner now, they'll only be third shot if they're buried. So you want to move the red stones here to open up the scoring area a wee bit, but at the same time, create a bit of a nest and leave the yellow in front so it's harder for Italy to remove. Keep the red stones at the back. This one's over curling. It's going to nick the guard.
They were trying hard. There's only so much they could do though, the sweepers.
Well, she had a really good start, but now starting to slip up a little bit. She's going to have to try and forget the misses and reset every time.
Se noi andiamo lì, lei cosa fa? Prova a togliere.
Ma se c'è luce fa l'iterroi così.
Se noi andiamo a guardia, lei ci va dietro?
Penso di
Dipende
sì.
cosa fa lei dopo.
Penso di sì.
A meno che non vuoi toglierne una e boh.
Togliamo questa che lei qua può fare qualcosa qua.
Italian bench looking on.
Quanto vuoi?
È apertura.
Yeah, Søren Gran sitting next to Violetta Caldarte, one of the more experienced Italian players, so quite a lot of experience on the bench for Italy.
Giving this a lot here.
Just trying to keep it simple. I mean, you have two corner guards up, it's looking a bit scary, so just taking one off here. It's definitely the cautious call. So I don't think Madeleine Dupont will be too upset there. She'll get to call for a double here and leave the corner guard in play. A score of 2 is definitely possible.
Seconds over Julie Hurd. And gets the ball this time. And loses their shooter.
Yeah, this is Italy's plan. They were hoping for that, so now they can peel the other corner guard and take away the end. At the same time, Denmark might be a little happy that they didn't get into too much trouble there. If Italy comes around, setting 3, starting to look like a slightly scary end.
The danger's gone, as far as Denmark's concerned.
No. Just enough.
Denise Dupont has played in 2 Olympic Games, 2006 and 2010. Been involved in the game a long time. And her sister played in 2010 as well. So they know what it's like. They know what the prize is.
Yeah, putting up the corner guard, so hoping for a miss from Italy, either that they hit the guard on the nose or miss it completely, and then Denmark can come around that guard and try and get a 2 going. If they don't get a mistake, they'll just start putting the stones into the house and go for the blank. Well, there you go. Should be enough for Denmark. Lots of room on this one.
Kom her. Julie, fortsæt til den stopper.
Usually hangs for a bit and then a big finish at the end.
Fortsæt. Vi vil være der.
It's really trying, but it's not going to get fully buried.
Godt, Denise.
Ja. Godt set.
Ducks an inch maybe.
Godt far. Godt noget. Godt, Denise. Godt far. Ja, det er fuldstændig. Jeg har ret meget.
You can see how Denmark's and how their lineup's working. You know, with Mathilde Halse being the vice skip. You know, you have one older and one younger player together all the time instead of having two young girls having to be on their own and being in charge of all the sweeping. So Denise Dupont takes care of that part. And you have Madeleine Dupont in charge of the tactics. And that way, you know, if things aren't going so well, the two young girls will have to stand alone and
they don't feel isolated.
no. So it's I think it's a good team dynamic.
Yeah, and they do seem to get on very well with them. There's a bit of fun and a bit of banter and chat. And it's all about support. Supporting them through.
And also Denise Dupont's used to sweeping, so she's had a lot of experience for sweeping and calling weight and you know, just being able to feed Madeleine Dupont information about the ice.
You know, great way to learn. These two girls have an amazing amount of experience in the game.
Godt faret.
A hidden stick.
God fart. Og god fart. Hvad var farten egentlig på min sidste der i sidste ende før?
You never know, it might be the last go at the Olympics for the Dupont sisters.
Denise is 33 and Madeleine 30. So we've seen players go on an awful lot longer than that in terms of age. Your country, for example.
Yeah, well,
Norway.
I think when you're in the age 32, 33, that's at least when you start thinking about how long you want to keep playing. I mean, the life gets in the way.
It's a big commitment now.
Family, work, anything.
We saw in Sochi, Johnny Jar, the Germany skip, making it to the Olympic Games, aged 50, I think.
Yeah, well, sometimes players will, you know, have a career, and they take time off, establish life, and then when
come back to
things are going well and they feel like they have the spare time to come back, they do.
I think that's becoming more and more difficult with the more professional element to the sport and the demands of the sport.
I think you're right.
And they both head out. Blanked end. It didn't look like it was going to be that way for a while. That's how it's turned out. It's still 2-0 to Italy. As the players head into the fifth end break.
Du fik jo ondt blot mig.
Ja, det gør jeg nok.
Jeg fik lige rettet skoen på plads. Og vi kan godt gå herover. Og der er lidt mere plads.
Barrette? Ja, der er vi.
Italy against Denmark. A place in the Olympic Games at stake. Third end. A couple of blank tens beforehand already with one counting. Diana Gaspari has this final stone for 2. But her shooter rolls out and just 1 on the scoreboard. And then in the fourth end, good set-up play from Italy. 2 counting, and Denise Dupont has a tricky hit here for 1. Just a soft hit she's looking for. And she just misses it, it edges out, and a steal of 1 for Italy. And they have a 2-0 lead. Fifth end is blanked, and it's still Italy 2, Denmark 0 after 5.
But think about, always be sure you come to the 10th pen with the hammer. That's the reason. That's what we're going to play for now. Okay?
Now we're forced.
No, you keep it simple. Keep it simple. Yeah. First one in rings, you play corner guard. So you put top 12, and then we peel the guard. And ask her the questions the whole time now. Okay? We are in good shape.
L'energia è salita, credo.
Yeah.
Teniamola lì. Alla concentrazione in questo momento in cui dobbiamo stare lì sul pezzo.
Og ikke kommer rundt, så kan I arbejde med den, ikke? Men når den ligger dernede, så gør de lige nøjagtigt det, de er allerbedste. Det er rundt om hele tiden og garder og sådan, ikke? Så det er en vigtig ting, ikke? Hvad er ellers skrevet? Jo, lige tænk over de der cornergarder, hvor sent de vil lægge dem. Nu lagde du på den første, det synes jeg var fint, ikke? Men nok ikke den næste, der. Så, det synes jeg, det ser fint ud.
Ja.
Det er jo noget med at
gå all in for den 2'er, eller hvad?
Hvad?
Går vi all in for den 2'er nu, eller hvad?
Ikke all in. Okay, altså, i dag med 2 med hammeren, det er jo ikke noget særligt.
So the stats after the first 5 in this qualification game 2. And not a huge amount to choose actually between the two teams with the hit percentage overall and the stolen point. But it has been a very close game so far.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is really the fourth end. Denmark had a bit of a bad one and Italy got a steal.
So that's the lineup as it looks at the moment. China already through to Pyeongchang 2018, but will it be Italy or will it be Denmark that joins them there? We shall see after the next first 5, maybe an extra end. Who knows? It's all going to become clear a little bit later on, but right now, Italy with a 2-0 lead.
Easy. Ok, no. Campo, grippando, aspetta. 5, attente, 5. Buona. 5, davanti ti. Line. Ecco, filo oltre. 10. Oh, filo oltre. È un quanto hai preso? 13,70. Oh, Dio mio.
Godt foul. Den anden vej.
Go!
Konfærden!
4. Er vi længere? 5.
Lina. Stopbord.
You're watching coverage from the WCF Olympic Qualification Event 2017. We're live in the Koszulska Arena in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. It's been a fantastic week of action leading up to this stage, the final day. And all those Olympic places will be decided. China going to Pyeongchang, they booked their place, as have Italy men. And still to be decided the second women's place between one of these, Italy or Denmark. And a little bit later on we have the Czech Republic and Denmark men's qualification game. Mathilde Halse, that's a good start for Mathilde, 82%.
Yeah, but a big mistake here with the first stroke, slipping into the rings, allowing Italy to play the hit. Italy ends up sitting for a guard though, and Denmark wanting another one. This one also coming a little tight, but pretty good there still.
What about the half-time chat, Sander?
I didn't seem too concerned, the Danish girls. Ulrik Schmidt said, you know, he was quite happy. You know, they have the hammer. Pretty good chance of scoring 2. So, no panic there, really.
Hits and rolls over to that other red, which is what the skip wanted.
Well, it's quite clear that Denmark wants to score 2 here. I mean, you can't wait around for too long, so just gonna have to go for it. Gonna throw another corner guard. That red stone's just in the top 12 anyway, so quite a lot of room to score. Nothing too threatening from Italy. But again, just coming up deep. Those perhaps those 2-3 feet quicker. Today is just throwing the girls off a little bit. But
sometimes it happens after the break as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, in the halftime, the ice makers will run a mop up and down. Sometimes that just take off some debris. Yeah, that does make it a tad quicker. Constantini will leave a corner for Denmark. Thought about just drawing around, but just seeing that the stone top 12 could be a bit of a problem. A bit of a nuisance in terms of getting to the forefoot later on. And also by hitting and rolling off of this one, you do open up the draw around that guard as well. So if she can play the hit and roll here and sit in the house, you have 1 counter plus 2 corner guards. It's a pretty good situation to score 2, but this one just way too high and just barely going to tickle it.
Io toglierei qui, farei di nuovo così. Sì. Sempre con un 9.
So a similar situation when Italy earlier in the game, there was 2 corner guards and they chose just to peel the one. Got 1 mistake from Denmark and then they peeled the other, and ipso facto and was over.
That's a good for Veronica Zapponi, 83%. Italian third. How's this one looking?
Ok. No.
Diana, ero solo veloce.
No, vai un po'. Così anche.
Denise Dupont, 58% Sander for this game.
Yeah, she's not been making too many shots really. Just hope that she can reset here and have a good last 5 ends. You would hate to have a poor game here, lose the chance to get the Olympics, and just know you haven't played your best. So really important to keep start making some shots, and that's a half decent one there.
Yeah, you always just need a couple to get you, set you back on track, because we know she's very capable of them.
A short run back called by Gaspari.
Nicely done.
Beautiful. You can see she enjoys making curling shots.
Yes, she says. I did it. Hits and rolls, but not quite far enough for her.
Se rotoliamo in mezzo meglio. Ok. Un pelo in più. Ok.
Gaspari slightly better for this game, 64%.
Wow. What a huge miss that is. I mean, yes, she wanted to play the hit and roll towards the forfeit, but quite better off nosing it there. Just nowhere near the right tolerance.
Yeah, they know it can happen. So much at stake here. That could be very costly indeed.
Well, great chance now to score their two. Denmark tie the game.
Is she looking worried too?
Det hjælper ikke, den køler meget, vel? Nej. 10.
Super staying well off
11
this.
11.
Where's this one going?
Just hoping to grow some teeth here.
Goodness me, who would have thought 2 in a row? My goodness, 2 mistakes in a row.
Okay. Der ikke nogen som helst chance for, at I kan sige noget, når det slider ud. Altså,
It's a little disappointing. I mean, there are so many heavy draws so far in the game, and sure, if the ice is a couple of feet quicker, but it's the 6th end.
Yeah,
Should be picking up on it, if, you know, ages ago.
Must be the adrenaline, must be the implications and the tension, because everybody seems to be feeling it.
You have the sweepers there, it can drag you without even trying 4 feet. So, essentially, you're throwing it 10 to 12 feet heavy there.
You underdo it, don't overdo it.
Well, the quicker the ice is, the more efficiency you'll get from the sweepers as well. So, just no need to overthrow them.
So a bit of a let-off for Italy.
Oof.
Sail close to the wind there, close to that guard. But they're back in the position that they were in, and it smiles this time from Diana Gaspari.
Yeah.
Should be breathing a sigh of relief, I have to say.
She knows she's just gotten off the hook here.
And you can tell the relief. Italy lying 2.
Yeah, so just a nose hit then for the single. And a first score for Denmark.
And she makes that one. Just forced to take the one. First point on the board for Denmark. Now played 6 ends, and it's Italy 2, Denmark 1.
Sì. Lei adesso metterà sicuramente 1000 guardie. Dici che mette 2 guardie? Forse una anche no, perché non è che lei sta giocando molto difensivo.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
Godt, gå væk, hvis den er 4. 3. Okay, det er fint. Så kom bare, Denise. Yes, Denise. Den krøller nu. Kom bare, Denise. Vi skal have plads til en mere. Det er godt spillet, Mathilde.
So 7th end now of this qualification game 2. Already we've seen China progress, beating Italy, then that 1v2. And now Italy with their second chance up against Denmark here. That really is anybody's game.
Rosso, già rosso. Solo tazzato rosso. Bravissima. Brava.
Well, this is going to be a bit of a key end here for Italy. They would quite like to, or at least consider blanking this end if they could. You know, it's 4 ends left. If both teams end up scoring with a hammer for the remaining 4 ends, both get to score twice. If you're Italy and you blank the 7th, it's now a 3-end game. And you get to score in 8 and 10, allowing Denmark only to score in 9, so essentially scoring in 2 ends, allowing your opponent only to score in 1. Big advantage. But of course Denmark's going to try everything they can to make sure that's not going to happen, and sometimes that's when you see a big score in these ends, because you know you got to go hard for the force or the steal if you're Denmark.
But you can't leave it to the last minute. You just can't.
No, some teams, they become a little defensive and cautious in a game like this, and all they want to do is just keep it tight, you know, and just keep themselves in it. But it's not really the mindset you should be having. You kind of have to go out there and play to win. So a couple of center guards up for Denmark.
Potevo giocare un po' più attiva perché...
Linjen er okay. 6. Og plads. Er den dernede? Er den ned til? Ja. Ej. Den skal ned til.
You know, this game, Denmark-Italy, is a repeat of the very first draw. this week.
Okay.
Played in the opening match. It's probably Denmark's best game of the week. Play really well. Play 88% as a team. We're 3 up on Italy coming into the 10th end.
This is an entirely different scenario now, though. This really is winner takes all here. Come on, Matilda, she says, get it over the line. And not quite managing it.
Togliamo questa.
Well, I know I've been requesting to pull the strings a bit on the draws, but
proviamo un
it's all
10,
too much.
così noi togliamo qua. Ok? Magari
Big mistake.
sicuramente andare via tutte e due, ma non
Denmark
importa.
still trying to keep the spirits up, though. Denmark could be in trouble here if Constantini makes a nice hit and roll.
Sì. Mezzo 10. Aspetta. Prendiamo solo quella. Sì, tieni, dai che prendiamo solo la gialla. Vai, tira. Brava.
Picks that clean. It's pretty good. 2 reds and a corner guard.
Chirurgico. Den er der, Denise. Ja, vi skal spænde op, og så er det god release.
Denise Dupont watching closely.
Manu. Fint, Denise. Okay, godt set, Mette. Det er godt sat. Tak.
Anche 10 meglio.
10?
Sì. Brava. Quanto era? 10,70. Ok. 70. Scusa, sembrava più veloce.
Così che spenda? Così bisogna aspettare per farlo sono. Fammi finire. Sì! Julius! Der er ikke noget videre. Okay.
Okay, quite get the roll this time either.
Just exchanging hits here.
Occhio, aspetta. Aspetta. No, aspetta. Sì.
There's going to be a roll here. There is a little bit of a one.
I wonder if the play the double here.
Just looking at the angles.
Giving up a 2 here. That's a tough comeback. 3 down with 3 hands to go.
So it's the risk-reward thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you have to play it. And you know, Madeline Dupont, she can make these shots.
Secondo me il ghiaccio che hai dato a me un 10. Io avevo beccavo pieno forse. Più o meno, sì.
Try and play the hit and roll again was such a long roll. You might not get another chance to play the double here, so.
We've seen her make 1 double earlier on in the game.
Peel.
Not quite as risky as this one. On the angle here and the weight. 1. And she, oh, how close was that? She just misses it. Oh.
Yeah, just a bit too thin.
Very unlucky for Madeline Dupont. It leaves Italy in another very good position.
So I'm just looking to split the rings now. You might think you want to keep it at the same height as the red one, so there's no double, but I think you're probably better off going deeper here, so Dupont can't make the hit and roll in behind cover. You let her play that skinny double if she wants to. That's exactly what they're going to do. So you see, there is an angle to play the double takeout. It's either that really, or trying to draw around the red stone behind the guard. Both risky shots. I don't think hitting the open one and giving away 2 here is really a good option.
Balancen er selvfølgelig for tyk på, men det er jo tyndt, vi skal ramme den.
Going to be another difficult stone for Madeline Dupont.
Double's quite makeable.
Skip, we know you can do this.
Jeg har spillet et par stykker den vej, jeg synes ikke, den kølede særlig meget. Bare køre liv, ja.
Right, so here she goes. And we see both these reds disappear. How's it looking? 1, and here it comes across, spinning, 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 and spinning out. So 1 red left. It was a good effort. That does mean that Diana Gaspari has his final stone for 2. Let's take another look. Yeah, she kind of knew.
Well, we said a blank would be great here for Italy, but a 2 is even better. We get the rock clock back up on. Had around 14.8 the last time. Anything between 14 and 15 should be good enough. It's a little bit hot, but I think it should dig in for 2.
Yep, I'm sure she wasn't planning on that in this end. What a bonus for Italy, claiming 2 points there. Supporters and the men's team and the crowd cheering them on.
Really, like this.
There's been a...
Oh, yes.
che la sfiora la stone.
Yeah, it was out there. It was right in front of our faces.
I think Denmark's.
Really, really a little. I don't
Denmark
think
feels
this
It doesn't matter. A hit is a hit. You hit it like this. Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
Ooh.
Nej, den går ikke, den der.
Der står lige her og kigger.
I didn't quite see it myself. Denmark saying that's a burned rock, and I think Italy's, you know, they were
Hugging her, reassuring her.
They were admitting to touching the rock, and if that's the case, you know, it's in Denmark's right to do it. I'll have a look. Yeah. You could see the hog time though. It's most likely going to stop anyway, but.
Oh, they think she stopped it with her.
Yeah, well. It's
Well, we don't see this happening in curling very often.
Stuff like that happens. Could be a little controversial, but adds to the drama.
Yep, it's just the one then, because the rock was burned, and that means it's out. No, doesn't count. You just hope it doesn't impact on the next part of the game or on the player involved.
8, fuori. Se non rallenta siamo
si
fuori.
sta fermando, eh.
No, no, no.
Guarda che si sta
andando un po' in over tutto.
13,80.
13,80 potrebbe fermarsi.
Sì, si fermerà.
Ok. Ok, Angie.
Og pas på, fordi lige nu kører der lidt an på en linje, jeg kan mærke den. Har vi god tid? Ja, ja. Det er sindssygt meget tid. Ingenting. Ikke noget. Den er lang.
So we're into the 8th end now of this qualification game. Qualification for Pyeongchang 2018. The second place up for grabs for the winners of this game between Italy and Denmark. And Italy leading 3-1.
I can just to be clear about the rules of a burned rock. If a stone is touched before the hog line, before it enters the playing zone, by the team to which it belongs or by their equipment, the touchstone is removed from play immediately by that team. So that's the ruling.
Before the hog line?
Yes. Past the hog line is a different story. There's a few options, and usually the skip will
Ok, perfetta, brava.
make up, you know, try and agree on something. Just the non-offending team still has the option to remove the stone even if it's touched after the hog line, or reposition it. But if the stone's touched before the hog line, technically, by the rules and regulations of the World Curling Federation, it's supposed to be taken out by the offending team themselves, actually. So that's the ruling.
Either way, the stone is gone, and the counter is gone for Italy. And Denmark well within their rights to do what they did.
It was touched before the hog line, wasn't it?
I wonder how critical that one could end up being. You never know.
Ok, brava. Erano troppo in linea, non mi piacevano, adesso mi piacciono di più.
Comparison of the seconds, and Constantini having a better game than Julia Hugo.
She had a decent start to the game, but yeah, made a few mistakes. both Danish front-end players haven't quite been able to set up the ends for Denmark. That's something they really need now. Down 2 points. I'd love to score 2 here, tie the game up.
Right, let's try and clarify all this for you.
Yeah. Just, I think that was the touch right there. It's ever so slightly, but it is before the hog line.
It was out there. It was right in front of our faces.
And according to the ruling, once more, the offending team is supposed to be taking that stone out. So if Italy did burn the rock, Italy actually should have removed the stone themselves, but you know, they felt that the touch didn't really make a big difference, and but now you're into a bit of a grey area, right? So it's a tough call. And when you're talking about a spot at the Olympic Games, how much slack do you give?
You know, Madame Dupont, quite within her rights.
Okay, det er fint. Rigtig fint. Det er godt spillet, Julie.
Maybe the rest of the Italian team weren't aware of it at that point.
Apertura.
Well, there's quite a few rules in the rule book. I don't think.
I won't test you on all of them, Sander.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think all players know exactly all the rulings. That's often why we have umpires, not necessarily to make a call, but to be able to inform the players of what the ruling is.
So, Italy targeting this card.
Bravissima, brave.
Thirds comparison for you. 7 ends played and 80% to 63. Well ahead in terms of the hits and the draws. And this is where the good play really matters. The last 4 or 5 ends. That's when you need to up your game.
Come ti piace di più? 9,5? Sì. Sola, buona. Oh, meglio, se 10 meglio. Oh, arriva. Oh, no, roll, no roll. Fa da solo nel rosso, ma no. Perfetto, brava. Super.
Du har det samme igen, og du er hernede på. Ja. Jeg kan egentlig godt lide den her. Du kommer til at lægge bedst af det. Ja. Altså, men du må også godt spille det samme. Det er bare sindssygt vigtigt, at vi ruller nogle steder. Hvad kan du bedst forstå? Altså, jeg tror faktisk bedst, at jeg kan lide rullet helt over bag corneren. Ja. Det er bare svært, ikke? Ja. Man kan sige, ligger du her, skyder hun på det, og det hele ruller ud. Altså, så har du det rene, så har vi det rene indlæg der, eller rulle. Ja. Det er også fint nok, jeg har ikke noget imod den her. Jeg tænkte bare, at det var sværere for hende at forholde sig til, hvis vi ligger den der. Jamen, det er rigtigt nok. Det er i hvert fald sværere end en open take, hvis den er der. Ja, lige præcis. 9!
So the thinking here is could make the hit and roll off the top red, but you know, to roll to a perfect spot is pretty hard. So if they can just play the freeze down onto the back red, hoping Italy would just try and blast it open and take out one of their own red stones as well. It's going to only leave 1 red stone. Then Denmark can come around the corner guard with only 1 Italy stone to worry about later. make it real good, it'd be hard for Achilles to even get this one out.
Ja, så er det bare op. Så er det bare
Ej, hvis den er 11, så gå væk.
Så er det bare op. Nej.
Slet ikke.
Nå, hvor var den lige derned?
Pretty good shot.
That finesse showed there. Denise Dupont.
Proviamo a restare meglio.
Io provo a prenderla.
Sì, piena, piena, sì. Piena con un 9, dovremmo restare anche noi. Ho leggermente di più che quello al lato che curla.
Sì?
Un po' meno.
Sì?
So we will get a mistake from Gaspari, and that yellow will stick around.
It just shows you how effective that freeze was.
Sorry.
Jeg synes, det kørt ekstremt lige ud lige her. Jeg tror bare, vi skal have der. Ja, men den der jeg spillede den sidste, hvor den overhovedet ikke, hvor jeg skulle spille den her, den kørte ikke meget.
Swings in Denmark's favour now.
Yeah, just going to hit the thread stone and try and leave a tough double for Italy. So probably looking to roll maybe a foot to the wing. That leaves it quite hard to make the double both ways. Tight here. Could roll big too as an option, but rolling out, of course not a great backup plan. Just tight. Bite off release there. Never gave it a chance.
Yep, she knew straight away as well.
9,5, piena.
Nej.
So Italy's final stone here. Oh, I'm not sure she's hugely happy about this one. Let's see.
I wonder if that looked like another burned rock.
You know,
Allison,
it would have touched the stone.
they're sweeping that way.
Nu må det stoppe.
She hit it again, and then she rolled
This was,
out.
I think, a lot clearer this time, actually.
Yeah, he knows it. You know that.
Yeah, I know it.
You know that. Yeah, but she still hit it, so he has to know.
Let's take another look. Try and clarify all this for you.
Wow.
Goodness me.
Because it was pretty much on the nose, and in the end, just caught a little tiny piece. And this time, there, it's just around the hog line too, so it's hard to tell if that was before or after, but it was a much clearer nudge this time.
But it was
Santini
after
again.
the hog line.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was after the hog line.
I don't know where it was.
It was after the hog line.
Jeg synes, det var før. Hvor var det henne, Julie? Det var sådan lige midt i det der guideområde. Var det over hogline? Ja.
Har det nogen betydning?
I don't know where she hit it, but
You saw it. I think it was after the hog line because it was. I was calling O for line, and as I called O just after the hog line because it was. I saw it was a nose hit, and it was curling very well. And just at the end, it was after that bar that she touched. And you all know it was a nose hit.
I know it was a nose hit, but I think she hit it before the hot line, so that's why.
Yeah, but my thing is. It was after the hog line because I called all for line.
Just to clarify, even if the stone's touched after the hog line, the non-defending team Denmark still has the option to remove the stone.
Yeah, but was it out there or in here? Or?
Well, she says it's after because if she didn't hit the stone while she was sweeping, and I called off.
You don't have to explain it to me. I didn't see it, but I heard it. I heard like click, and I don't know what happened.
It was after. For me, it was after the hog line, but.
And for you, it was before.
Yeah.
So how do we do this?
Can we see the?
Yeah, can we see the? Yeah, but you can't see it from the head. You cannot see it from the head.
So if it's before the
yeah, we know. Yeah, but when she said one thing and she said one thing.
The decision is yours. So
what?
You can
well, maybe the sweeper knows.
Maybe.
The decision is still Denmark's. They can still remove it.
Yeah, that's what the umpire said.
I'm not sure Denmark understand that. It was just after the hog line, I think.
The son had just the time to run out of the nose and touch
because it rolls off that way.
If it was
vi skal være før hog line. Det skal være før. Vi skal sige det før hog line.
Men hvis hun ramte
efter hog line, så er den bare ude.
I'm really sorry. I don't know. I was sweeping all the way. So if we have touched,
but we agree that it was touched, right?
I'm sorry.
We agree that it was touched.
Yes, but you can decide whatever you want. But
I don't.
It was a nose hit.
I didn't see it. I just heard it, so I don't know where it was.
It's clear that she touched because it was a nose hit, and then we peeled.
But I don't know where it was.
Now closer to behind the hog line.
Yeah.
The decision is on your team.
Oh yeah, I know the rules, but I just didn't see it, so it's hard for me to make the decision. I'd rather want to.
I still say it's before the hog line. I saw it as before the hog line. She says something else. Well, we have two opinions. I don't know what we do here. We don't know if it was after or before, and we need to take a decision, make a decision.
But the bottom line is Denmark, before or after the hog line, can still make the decision. I don't think the younger member of the team understands that.
I think Denise Dupont understands, but just not quite keen to make that decision.
Because she didn't see it for herself, but they're all acknowledging that the stone was burned.
Yeah, that was quite clear.
We as umpires cannot say if it was behind or before the hog line. But finally, the decision is yours.
And you say it was before the hog line? Yeah. So it's before the hog line.
Oh, well, either way, it's Denmark's choice. So
what happens now?
Well, they decide, and they're going to put the stone back. I'm sure there's going to be some discussion after this, and I think the main discussion is, you know, if you burn a rock, is that a part of the game? You know, that's.
It was also a nose hit and it didn't really, or did it impact?
Curling's quite strange that way. I mean, you can fall on a rock and then the other team might still say, oh, it's fine. You know, it would have hit the rock, and then they take it out, and it's a bit of the sportsmanship of the sport, but
what you don't want is for it to impact on the momentum of the game, and that kind of stoppage for quite a long time.
Well, so in the end, the stone is replaced. It's Denmark's call. They made the call. They're drawing for two. It looks pretty good too, and it's going to be a tied game here, Alison.
Yep. 2 shots to Denmark. They close the gap.
Dobbiamo digerirla prenderla assolutamente, se no non la portiamo a casa.
It's now 3-3, leveled things up.
Okay, det er en lidt vild situation at spille OL-kval på 2 ender. Men det blev besluttet i dag, at vi spiller.
Tick shot o andiamo dietro?
No, perché col tick non facciamo più mano nuove, perché ci restano lì le guardie
Ok,
laterali.
andiamo dietro allora.
Andiamo dietro, con la
A
prima
5.
sicuramente.
Va
sì,
bene.
sì.
Okay.
Stefi, mi raccomando. Torna.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
How do you think it will happen? I mean, when it touch, you behave like if it was a clear nose, it was a clear nose.
I saw it from the side, so I didn't even... Oh, undskyld.
It's important, Sander, for both teams not to dwell on it now and to move on.
Yeah, and it's going to be, I think, just as tough for Denmark as Italy, because you hate to make those calls if you're Denmark, and even though you're on the right side of the ruling, you don't feel 100% good about doing it, but you know, it's a game to get to the Olympic Games, and if a rule's been broken and you have the option, it's very hard to be the good guy when there's so much at stake.
Perhaps it'd been an early round robin game, you wouldn't have, you might not have bothered, maybe.
And if you're Italy, of course, you're probably quite annoyed now and you feel mistreated or whatever, but probably the best thing to do now is just try not to touch any more stones.
Brava, bravissima. Pieno. Brava, Angie.
There's not a lot of controversy in our sport. But, you know, sometimes you can't help it. Yep. Whoa, this is a pretty bad throw coming up here.
Just what we were saying about it affecting the momentum.
Okay,
and,
rigtig god fart.
Right into the thick of the game there, weren't we, till that stoppage?
It's just a lot of tension out there now, so it's really hard to relax and focus on your shots. So whatever team can do that the best and put that whole situation to rest and just focus on the next two ends, they're going to win this game.
T-line anche 8. T-line 8. Meglio 8. T-line 8. 8, controllatela bene. Sì. 8, 8. 5. Tira 8, 8. Dai che è perfetta. Tira che va dietro T. Dai, forte. Forte. Sì, ancora un po', ancora. Vai che va dietro. Una sola.
Italy's got something going here.
Brava.
So, usually now for Italy in the 9th end, tied game, a blank is good here. Then you have the hammer coming home, tied score. Score of 2 is also pretty good. So what they're going to do is play fairly low risk end. They get their 2, they're quite happy. If it ends up being a blank, they're going to be quite content with that as well. And now we see another miss from Danish front end. Actually leaves a corner guard, and that red stone is fully buried in behind. Italy with a chance to come around again.
important for all players to remain calm and focused.
Qua dietro riusciamo a tirarla qua? Sì. Senza che esca? Oh. 13,60. Oh. Easy. Oh, no. Ok, Steffi. Va bene. Elve? Ja. El 10,5. Åh. 10,5. Åh. Denise, ikke på. Mathilde, yes. Mathilde, gå. Ej, åh. Okay. Det er rigtig fint. Den er samlet derovre nu. Rigtig fint. Sì. Quella è arrivata a 10.
Gets in for second shot here, but still Italy with the chance to come around the corner. You can say the three is in play here, really.
This
one's a little wide. Tends to hang on the centre line a little bit before coming over. So just waiting for it to start moving, and then on the sweep to try and drag it. It's not buried, but it's pretty good there. You have that yellow stone on the wing. Could be a bit of a catcher. It's hard to... Normally you could maybe slash double these now, but that yellow problem for Denmark. So I think you're just going to come down with controlled weight. Play the tap-tap. Try and kill that stone on the tee line. Try and sit on top.
Hak. Åh, sæt. Nej. Hak. Åh. Julie. Julie, hele vejen. Linjen er perfekt. Gå, Julie. Manu. Lidt mere.
That's a really good shot.
Flot spillet, Denise. Godt set, Mette. Helt perfekt.
Just perfect, she says.
Okay.
Your Danish is better than mine.
Di là qua.
So down one side.
She goes by, just realizing it's hard to move that yellow stone out. No need to be too greedy. A score of 2 here is big, so you'll split the rings here, draw to the other side of the forefoot. Only really needs to be full 8 foot. Just gonna make sure to get down to tee line or even a tad deeper, not to leave a double. Falling tee line all the way here, so
Tira.
sounds pretty good.
Vai, tira forte. Perfetta,
Very
brava
nice
ragazzi.
draw.
Perfecta.
Guess your Italian's better than mine.
I think that's quite easy to translate.
Altså, jeg tænker, hvis vi gør det samme, så er hun godt nok svært ved at placere en til. Men det skal godt nok være præcist. Det er mest i forhold til, at du lige har spillet det, og du skal gøre det samme igen.
Ja.
Kan I lide det?
Ja. Rigtig god fart før. Ja, rigtig god. Hvad var det? 10? Ja. Jeg havde 0.
Still keen to get involved in the action. Right, there he is. We can see you watching the action.
tæt. Wow! 12. Yep! Den slipper. 11. Wow! Wow! 11. Julia. 11. Ja, på linjen. Ja! Yes, Manu.
Two pistols from Denise Dupont. Kaspari calling the team over, or Saponi, at least, to have a look at the situation.
Dove la mettiamo?
Una roba così non c'è?
Sì, cioè va via tutte e due. Anche se dovessi prendere la piena che fai tac tac, basta che non prenda questa, ci sarebbe.
Piena non tanto, però io questa...
No, piena. Anche se non vanno via.
Vai skip.
Sì, anche 3/4. La proverei, da giocarla, cioè è sicura.
Sì. Se anche la prendi troppo, resta questa libera.
Troppo poco, dici?
Sì, troppo poco.
La prendi da sopra.
Perché venire appunto qua vedo tutto piccolo adesso.
No. Non mi dispiace, cioè se a te piace, a me non dispiace.
Mezza.
Possiamo anche chiamare il tempo se vuoi.
Okay,
però, anche se io rollo via,
sì,
e ne prendo un terzo, rimane poi quella là dietro.
Io giocherei un 9.
9?
Sì.
Sì, va bene.
Mezza, la prendiamo mezza e fa così.
Ok. Non darmi troppo ghiaccio che le mie stanno fredde.
Non ti do troppo ghiaccio?
Dammi il ghiaccio giusto. Cerco di non aprirle.
No, ma secondo me restano abbastanza, anche le sue adesso sono rimaste.
9?
Sì.
Non toccare lo shooter. No, non fare roll troppi strani. 9.
So after that discussion,
Guarda Peletto.
back to the other end.
Here I'm saying 9 a few times, which I think is 9 in Italian, and that'd be a weight indication. 9 seconds between the hog lines, so just a bit of a firm takeout here from Sapone. Trying to move these Yellowstones around. Oh, but this is hanging wide. Clips the one. That's not great. You see the time clocks here, just to confirm. Whenever the discussions were happening, both time clocks would have stopped. So didn't spend any time on that. There's tons of time for both teams to play the final end in a bit.
Things very open there now for Madeleine Dupont. It's been a difficult end.
Thank you. Nej. Den har ramt det der negative spor der. Julia! Bare kør.
Okay. Roll out.
Så må han rode rundt der. Den er bare 9.
Della gialla ne manca un manico. Mi manca un manico. Sì,
Proviamo. Dovessi mai toccare quella.
Sì.
Staffa?
Sì, una testa di pompa. È un filo più di un manico, però...
Una staffa, eh?
Vai con una staffa.
Sì, una staffa. Appena
vede
passiamo
metà
la guardia.
abbondante.
Sì.
Er det bare, skal bare have lidt mindre lige der?
So I believe Kaspari is trying to get to the inside of this yellow, try and punch it through, and just trying not to catch her own red at the back there. Tough one.
Yeah, important one though.
To squeak the guard.
Like it is, it's getting very close to that guard indeed, very, very close.
Okay, dovevamo provarla a filo.
Sì, ci sta. Er vi enige? Ja. Det står lige på, så lige før du ligger på. Du kan også gøre Ulrik, hvis der er med det. Hvad? Du kan også tage en time-out, hvis du er i tvivl. Ja, det kan vi da være. Ja, jeg ved ikke, om du er i tvivl. Jamen altså, lad os sige, at jeg tager den der, kommer til at rulle helt af. Så spiller hun selvfølgelig den her, og så har hun 2, ikke? Jeg kan også lave det rent drag. Altså, det er det, der er alternativet, men hvis den ikke... Altså, det er jo også åndssvagt. Lave det rent drag, og den ikke er der, så får hun 3. Laver jeg den der, og jeg ruller af, så får hun 2. Ja, jeg tænker bare, hvis hun har ikke dobbelt, hvis vi står på den der. Nej. Hun har hele den blomme her siden ned i. Okay. Ja, jamen, det var bare så, hun ikke lige kunne ramme på indersiden og få det der ud. Det vil være, altså det vigtigste er, at den kommer bedre end den der, jo ikke? Ja, og den skal bare rulle mikrolet for at være det. Ja. Det der er helt skidt. Og så kan man trække ned til. Ja. Ned i fart. Herude, der krøllede den også lidt ind sidst. Men jeg tænker mig, hvis vi står lige på, er den der også ikke bedre? Jo, den skal rulle ind af. Okay. 10. Ja. Jo, det er derfor, vi skal have en lille rulle ind af.
I just thought about drawing down onto this stone and just sitting 2 and leaving no double for Gaspari, but you know, if you ever missed a draw here, there's a chance for Italy to score 3, so you're quite happy to try and kill one of those red stones. If you do roll out, there will be a shot for 2, but if you can keep the shooter in the 8 foot, you're probably forcing Italy to take their 1. Sounds pretty good here.
It's a rolls in, yep.
Yeah, so no chance of a double, no chance of a score of 2. She'll just have to take her 1 here. So nose hit, needs to stick around. Rolled a bit too far, it's a steal.
Milestone of this 9th end in this very tense qualification game for the Olympic Games. And they're both going to roll out, and it's a steal. It's a steal for Denmark, and they go into the lead, going into the final end. Italy 3, Denmark 4 after 9.
Vi har god tid, ikke? Ja. Langt, ja. 8, god retning.
You're watching coverage from the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're live in the Koszyczka Arena in Pilsen. In the Czech Republic, this is the 10th end of this qualification game between Italy and Denmark. The winner qualifies for Pyeongchang 2018 next year, the Olympic Winter Games. And we have had just about everything in this game. A lot of tension all the way through. Mistakes, great shots. It's been hard work for both sets of players at times. But the prize is still there for both of them at this stage. Italy with the hammer in this final end. I'm Alison Walker, and with me Sandra Rovag, guiding you through the closing stages of this intriguing encounter between these two. Goodness me, I wonder how they must be feeling at this stage, Sander.
Well, I know how I'm feeling right now, and I could just imagine being on the ice myself would be brutal. So much on the line. I mean, it's a lot to it's a lot for the young girls out there, I think. And it'll be interesting to see how this one shapes up. We might get an extra. So far, 3 good shots by the players. The leads. Underker's a wee bit on that centre guard, but shows the right side of the stone here. Italy can't play the hit and roll in behind the corner. Quite important to keep the shooter in play here, or you might see Denmark rip the corner guard. Great shot by Rome. I
always wonder which situation you'd rather be in. Would you rather be 3-4 down with the hammer in the 10th, or the other way? What would you have? What would you take?
It's a good question, you know, when Gasparvi rolls out there in the 9th giving up a steal, it's not that much of a difference, really. I think actually a lot of teams would prefer being 1 down with the hammer, because then they get to throw the determining stone and they're more in control that way. Statistically, I think there's a slight advantage being 1 up, because you can force and take the game into the extra, but it's very much a coin flip right now, and it would be up to the teams to maybe look at their own statistics and see, you know, how they fare in those situations. But for two young teams, they wouldn't have been in this situation too many times this season, so it's hard to tell. But now a big mistake there by Denmark, and 2 is definitely in play for Italy.
And a reassuring tap from the skip there.
So Italy would love to come around the corner guard, just don't want to leave a double on the Reds. Just trying to figure out what to do. Think about maybe playing the split.
Diciamo che lì abbiamo un margine di velocità, nel senso che... Esatto. Cioè se dovesse fermarsi prima e ci fermiamo qua in appoggio, non è male. No, per niente. Lì mi piace di più che di là. Dovrei giocare un T-line, che se per caso si ferma ci fermiamo qua. Se no provo a fare questo. Il problema è che... T-line! Non rischiare la guardia. No, non... T-line! Proviamo a spingerla indietro qua di 2 stone. E noi veniamo qua. Se per caso è corta ci fermiamo in appoggio qua, va bene uguale. Va bene. Stefi, tu tirati line, pensiamo noi. Ok, easy.
So they will play kind of a split. Not with so much weight, they're trying to split them in between the guards, but more of a draw here around the center guard, just catching the inside of the red, tapping that back maybe 2 feet. Trying to put a stagger on here. So just showing half of the shooter in behind the guard and half of the shot stone. But this one is needing to curl quite a lot to get there.
Every shot really does matter now. Every single shot.
Just really wide there and shy for weight. terrible where it sits. It's not an easy double for Denmark. But Julie, being a lefty, she'll actually see a touch more of this red stone than a right-handed player would. Coming out the other hack.
Julie Hook. Gonna catch the guard, is it?
Frustrated with the guards, she says. She's been catching a lot of them today.
Emotions running high here.
Does move that yellow far enough though, but
A parte che lei ha l'hit and roll libero. Quale? Quello. Beh, ma non so quanto possa entrare con lo suo shooter, perché quello è mezza fuori. Se facessimo uno split. Ah, sì,
Berkeley with a chance to come in, set 3, and Denmark might have to make 2 doubles to get the force.
Buona linea. 6. Sicure? Arriva? Sicure? Può anche da tenere. Va benissimo anche un 8. Non rischiate la corta. Dobbiamo andare. Tira. Tira che arriva, tira che arriva. Dai qua, sì, dai in qua. Dai che è perfetta, dai che è perfetta. Ancora. Vai che va
Pull
ancora.
this one as far as they can.
Perfetta,
Level
bravissima.
with
Brava.
the red.
Quant'era?
Hvad far? Jeg tænker på 8 her. Ja. Hvad tænker du, Denise?
Er det vigtigt, at shooteren bliver her?
Ja, det er vigtigt, at vi beholder shooteren, ikke? Nej, det vigtigste er, at du får begge to ud. Nej, det ved jeg sgu ikke. Det ved jeg sgu ikke. Det er lige vigtigt. De her ligger fuldstændig på linje. Du kan også rulle den her herind og så samle klumpen. Ruller du med denne her og bliver med shooteren, er hun tvunget til at skyde på den, og så er det ligesom lidt mere samlet. Ja. Laver du denne her og laver kun dobblen, men ligger herude, så ligger hun der. Ja. Ja. Men 9'er er nemmere at styre. Kan den rulle nok på det? Ja. Sagtens. Hvad side kan du bedst i? Ja, derudefra. Bare 9. Ja.
Well, wanted to play the double initially, and that seems like the straightforward call. Just worried if she makes the double. Italy goes to the other wing, maximum separation. You'll hardly get a new double. So wanting to hit the one on the wing and try and group everything. But
do you not always say do the double when you can, because it might not be there again?
Yeah, I think I'd be tempted to play the double because that roll has to be pretty perfect. And now the more stones you waste doing this, the less chances you'll have at these doubles. You could make the double on the reds on the center line and keep the shooter in front, something to roll behind or even draw around in the end if you can't make that double one once more. Italy gets a chance here, hits on line 3, it's pretty much the same situation again. 3 rocks left for Denmark.
Veronica Zapponi.
Have they lost this one? They have. Wow. I wonder if it might have picked up something. Not quite sure. Maybe just didn't throw enough weight.
Altså nu er det rigtig vigtigt, dobblen er der jo. Okay. Men den der røg ud. Jeg tror, du skal op i en 8,5 i hvert fald, fordi ellers er der er lang vej for den ene. Hvor hurtigt var den, jeg spillede før? Ja, stopurløs.
Denise Dupont made a couple of great shots to 9.
Lige på er okay. Men det er også fint, hvis den er 8.
Could be a bit of a game saver right here. even so, Italy will have that corner guard to come around.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Off and on, all the way down, pretty close.
Whoa. Whoa.
Not quite.
Kom. Det er fint, Denise. Det er rigtig godt spillet.
Very close indeed.
Whoa. Ikke nu. Whoa. Okay, ja, kom på den. Kom. Det er fint, Denise. Det er rigtig godt spillet.
Yep, now she's thinking of the implications further down the line. Monica Saponi, who played in the last Olympic qualification event in 2013 in Pilsen. Italy finished 7th.
Tutta pari a questa. 6 va bene, pari a questa.
Ok, pari a quale?
Pari alla rossa.
Ok.
Just looking to split the rings here. Wanted to keep them level, but coming up maybe a little bit deep. That's pretty good, but I wonder if Madeleine Dupont can throw it hard enough here to make the double.
Har jeg ikke spillet en her, hvor den curlede for mig? Nej, det var det andet måde. Ja. Altså, vi skal gå efter den 100% nu. Ja, det skal vi. Der skal eddermame være knald på, for den der kommer derud.
Does she have to do this?
Yeah, there's not much option really. I mean, you could hit the stone and 8 for trying to roll behind the other one. And then hope you can get an easier double on your next one, but
lige nu er der ikke noget B-skud, så vidt jeg kan se. Fordi det er kommet til bare at skubbe den eller rulle derover. Så jeg forestiller mig, at vi går 100% efter den.
Just want to throw it hard enough, and just like how hard do you dare to throw it? Because players can put that extension on it, you know, throw it a little extra, but it's always a little more uncertain.
71%.
You see the big push in the end.
Yep. How's it looking? How's it looking?
Sounds very close.
One going to come off?
1, 2.
Yes, it is. It does come off. And that changes things yet again here.
Wow.
1 and 2. Never in doubt. Beautifully executed.
You know, catch it if she catches that too thin, Gaspari draws the other wing.
She knows how important that was.
It's a 2 for Italy and a win, so that's huge.
Dammi un attimo di più.
Oh, Gaspari playing the hit and roll. She could just ignore the stone and the forfeit and just play the draw instead here, get second shot. And,
game, look at that, 58%.
She could hope for Denmark to leave a double on her next one, and if not, just play the open hit for single. But being a bit cautious here, I think. It's a bit of a... Yeah, I would have quite liked to see the draw there. Still have a shot for the single and the extra on your next one. Even if you miss.
Den ligger lige præcis her, hvor vi har den anden liggende hernede. Så ruller jeg af på den på den siden, ikke?
It's a bit of a safe play by Gaspari, keeping the extra end in mind.
The shoulders seem to be a little bit down. The body language seems strange with Italy at the moment.
Mathilde, rullede jeg ikke af på oversiden af den? Curlede den ikke for meget? Ja, den curlede for meget sidst jeg spillede den her. Jeg kunne ikke rulle af på ydersiden, men så havde den siddet i vores egen.
Så lad os tage lidt mere.
Kan I ikke huske det? Nej. Vi havde den liggende nede bagved i 8. ende, hvor det er, at der hvor hun rammer den alt det der.
Du har ret. Ja.
Der ruller den jo henover. Min sidste.
Nå ja, det er rigtigt.
She does have a tendency to overthink things at times. When it comes down to the wire, just thinking back to one of the stones she played that over curled in this spot. So I think taking a touch more ice. Overthinking is probably better than underthinking. And it's a good nose hit by Denise Dupont. So an open hit here for the single the next round.
So here we go.
Spazio. 10 e mezzo.
Stone of this
10 e mezzo.
10th end.
10 e mezzo.
How's it looking?
10 e mezzo. Easy. Easy, easy. Arriva, 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 arriva. Arriva. Brava.
Yep, no problem at all for Diana Gaspari. Under a bit of pressure there to level things up. And we're into an extra end in this qualification match for Pyeongchang 2018. 4-4 after 10.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018, your curling oasis awaits.
Buona 3, 2, tira 3, linea buona, 3, occhio, linea buonissima, attente, 3, attente che si ferma, 3, tira 3, dai che è perfetta, tira 3, dai tutta che la tirate, fai l'1, basta, ok, siamo a metà strada, sì, lasciala lì, ok, Stella Uli? Yeah. Go. Man skal have lidt. Ja. 4. Ja. Så er det hele vejen. Ja, på retning. Linjen er fin. Det er kun farten. 4. Ja. Hele vejen. 4. Yes. Bare fej. Bare fej, 4. Alt I kan. Mathilde, husk, vi ikke har så meget tid mere. Ja.
So extra end in this Olympic qualification playoff game. 4-4 after 10. Actually picking up one in that 10th.
Well, Denmark couldn't have had a worse start to this extra. Puts up another centre guard, so it's done the job for Italy, really. Romay pulling up a bit short on her draw. Well, it's at least better than throwing it through. It's a guard, something.
And Denmark have the hammer, remember. Very much advantage to them. They will have the final stone.
Yeah. Denmark would like to keep things clean here, but they're still not allowed to remove any of the opposition stones, and with the yellow stone being fully buried, they can't get to that either. If they had the option, or if it was possible, they would be allowed and would probably want to peel their own stone out. But not really having any option than to draw around here and try and take control of the forefoot. So just top of the red circle. great. This one gonna pull up short, just nibble the top of the 12. That's essentially guard 2. It's a nightmare start to an next round if you're Denmark. This is an important shot coming up here. To set up the whole end, get a good draw around, a good shot stone. But Denmark has to outdraw potentially. It's not a bad draw. Had quite a lot of room on the guard there. Been seeing that from Constantini in the last couple of ends. Just playing it all safe, throwing them a bit wide. Don't want to catch the guards. But it's fully buried, full forfeit. Good effort. Just going to run it past everything.
Okay.
Just gets one. Close to picking off the shots on there.
Yeah,
very close.
Picking up 2 or 3 there. Struggle getting this one down. They're pushing hard, they're struggling. It gets there. 2 benches there. I wonder how they must be feeling right now, my goodness. Nothing they can do either.
A lot of players who retire and get into coaching say it's worse watching than playing themselves.
Okay, come again.
I'll tell you, it's a good setup for Italy here. They throw the guard back here. At the moment, there's almost no shot for Denmark to win. So
Arriva 2, massimo 3.
You're gonna have to work.
No. 4 e 5. Ok. Occhio alla linea.
Finita male, Steffi, tieni un po' su. Sola, linea sola. Linea buona sola. 2. Quanto? 2. Aspetta che deve arrivare. Aspetta, arriva sola. Angela. Sì, dai che Kerla, dai Angela, tutta che va ancora. Sì. Ok. Brava.
That comes maybe a tad deep, but they had to sweep it there for line, not to leave a hole.
Quant'era?
7. 4 e 5.
Dupont calling the team down for a chat. So remember the clock's been reset to 4.5 minutes per team plus a timeout for the extra.
Denne her. Ja, derned mod. Hen over toppen på den der. Ud med den. Forhåbentlig ned mod den der. Så det er den tilbage, måske den tilbage. Men hvis det ligger tilbage, så går hun rundt igen. Det gør hun. Jamen, det gør hun. Og så må vi tage den der næste gang. Men det er mest fordi, hvad skal den her, hvor skal den her hen? Derovre i, eller hvad? Vi kan ikke fjerne en jo. Nej. Altså, jeg tænkte lidt, om vi skulle have den her nu. Mod den der.
Ja, enten den, eller også den anden røde.
Mod den der.
Nej, den derovre.
Men sætter den røde, så ender den bare ikke her, så?
Nej, men det, der er rigtig vigtigt nu, det er, at I får åbnet op til jeres drag, for lige nu er der absolut ingenting. Vel?
Nej.
Skyder på den røde lige ned er fint, men altså det åbner ikke noget op.
Nej. Men er det ikke bedre, så den her herud?
Ja,
eller hvad?
Så har
eller
du
den her?
stadig ikke åbnet dit drag, jo.
Jo. Nej, så har jeg åbnet til rejset. Det er væk nu. Jamen, jeg ved hvad skal vi ellers, siger du?
Nej,
den her vej?
Nej, du kan tage den der gule ned, den der måske.
Altså den her direkte?
Ja.
Nej, den kan jeg ikke. Den kan jeg ikke lide.
Nej. Og ellers er der jo den her over. Altså få den her over toppen og prøv at lave den der. Den
er det den, du peger på, eller den?
Nej, den røde hernede.
Den røde herover?
Ja, over toppen og ned den der, ikke? Få fjernet den på pletten.
Så den røde herover?
Den røde ned på den.
Nå, den der skal dernede.
Ja.
Jeg kan bare godt lide at få åbnet op til den der.
Ja, det kan jeg også godt forstå. Men det er bare den der åbner ikke specielt meget op, jo vel?
Den åbner bare til rejset.
Og så ligger den inde bag den der.
Hvad kan du bedst lide, den røde eller den gule?
Så vil jeg nok skyde på de røde første gang, og så anden gang måske noget af det gule.
Hvis det er, vi skyder den her herned mod, så kommer den der jo ikke ud. Eller hvis den gør, så bliver den her femeren jo liggende her.
Hvis du skyder hårdt nok, så enten laver du den, eller også åbner du op, ikke?
Okay, hvad kan du lide, Denise?
Jeg kan godt lide den røde nu, den gule
okay.
Og så på draget, træk vejret.
Ja.
What did you glean from that, Sander?
Talk about all the possibilities and how to open this up. I think Aldrich Smith, his first message to the team when he came out was just, all right, so we only have one goal here and it's to open a pathway to the forfeit so we have a shot to win.
Vi har en tolerance på ydersiden jo.
Dupont was keen on maybe running one of the yellows in and to get shots done and try and win it right here, more or less, you know. But I think you got to just stay focused and try and keep it open. Make sure you have some kind of shot, because right now you don't really have much.
So just clearing things away, basically.
Ooh, that's a tough break there. Curls an inch more, or less than that even. You ripped 2 reds. No way in for shot stone for Denmark. Important to not throw these too deep if you're Italy.
And they've got the opposite strategy, just block everything off as much as they can, any pathways.
Angela. Okay. Perfetto.
Pretty perfect.
Brava.
Fordi den er noget længere ude. Samme fart.
Now I'm gonna run the yellow center guard across the top of that redstone top 12. That way she'll also open that yellow stone in the that she has in the top 12. It might be promoted later on.
Second stone for Denise Dupont.
Just a bit of an overthrow, you know, big extension. It's a little bit outside the comfort zone. You want it so much, so you give it that extra bit of weight, and you don't quite throw it as you normally would. All inside out, doesn't come back. So you can see it now, the yellow stone can be promoted for the win, so Italy's going to have to guard that.
Una guardia davanti alla gialla.
Sì.
4,20?
Sì, io quest'ultima di vero ho preso un 4,12. Quindi ci sta.
Denmark with last stone in this extra end. And even if they do get a pathway in, she still has to make it. And they'll do all they can to block, protect, guard anything that they have, to stop any yellow stones coming in.
Siamo un filo. No. Vai.
So she's now guarding that yellow one at the top of the 12 foot.
Yeah, pretty good.
Du ruller bare derover foran, så vi kan få de to væk, og så vi kan åbne op.
No, è fatto bene. Ma non penso che abbiamo cambiato con la spazzata, non penso che abbiamo...
Could double peel the guards here, the two reds. That way you have two ways in for the win, either the promotion on the yellow or the double on the two reds. Gaspari couldn't guard both then, but just called a run back here. Gonna run the red guard on the right onto the yellow and hopefully then get the yellow to redirect onto the shot stone. Very tough.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah,
It's close.
Yes!
Wow. That is a great one.
What a
Look
great
at
reaction
Ulrich
from the
Schmidt.
coach. My goodness. Oh, well played indeed. Fabulous shot from Madeleine Dupont. That could be the one, you know.
That's an incredible curling shot.
Was that the plan?
That was the plan all along. You know, she'd be quite happy to just make the double. I mean, she's hoping she could get that yellow onto the shot stone, and in the end ends up sticking it buried in behind four guards.
And you can
Three rather.
You can see what it means to him, and you can see what it meant to the team.
All right, so Italy's got one to go here, and Gaspari all of a sudden looking so good the whole end. She's going to have to play a freeze, and if it's not made, the Olympic dream will burst.
Abbiamo spazio. Di. 6, 8, di line. Di. Di line. 8.
These are tough to sweep as well.
Really difficult to gauge. How's the line? How's the line?
Have they lost it?
I think they have lost it. They have indeed. Oh, and she cannot believe it. She's in tears. And that means Denmark have won this game. There's not quite enough on that last Italian stone. And it is Denmark who qualify for next year's Olympic Games. Heartbreak for Italy. What a tense game this was. Denmark edge ahead with the win. 5-4 the final score.
Hvor er I vilde? Hvor er I vilde? I er simpelthen de sejeste, jeg nogensinde har mødt jer. De sejeste, jeg nogensinde. Hvor er det sindssygt.
Ej, sorry. Det er så sindssygt. Nu kommer det her. Jeg har et eller andet mærke. Jeg har ens mærke på.
Det er godt gået. Det er godt gået. Fuck, et sindssygt skud var det.
Fuck, et sindssygt skud var det.
Hvor er det godt. Er det godt.
Vi skal til Rom. Vi skal til olympiske lege på det gønne. Og vi skal til tatovering sammen.
Do I? Yes.
I'm sorry. But if we do right away, it'll be... Ej, hvor er det sindssygt. Jeg vil sige.
Hvad sker der for det sidste?
Det lignede, jeg tror den tog noget. Vi så dig godt. Din lillebror står derovre. Skal jeg tage dem her?
Og Matt er
Matt er gået. Du må tage et vinderbillede af os et andet sted. Det er så sindssygt.
Tough out there, Diana. Can you tell us about your emotions right now?
I'm really sad, of course, because we lost, and we lost in a kind of strange way, because this game was really, I don't know, we burned 3 stones touching our own. They decided to put them away. We were up on the score, so it was, first of all, it was tough for us to go back, and we were able to do it. Also, the extra end was a good end for us, but then yes, we lost. I don't know what to say. I don't want to judge anybody. We touched 10 stones, so it's fine.
But did it affect your momentum over the course of the game, do you think?
No, not ours, because we were tougher and tougher. But of course, the scoreboard would be different without that to touch.
It is so sad because your team have played so well all week. What do you have to say about your team?
I have to thank them, of course, because we did a great job, unexpected job, of course, and everybody will remember and get experience from this, especially the youngers, and we have to go on. Nothing. We cannot do anything else.
Thank you, and thank you for doing the interview. Madeline, congratulations. You have made it to the Olympic Games again. How does that feel?
I don't know. Our coach promised us a ride on the donkey downtown if we won, so I think that was the biggest motivation there was.
It was such a tough game out there. Describe how, because we had the burnstones and all sorts of things going on. Tell us your side of that.
I don't like these kind of situations because it's not, well, nobody likes it because you don't want to be the bad guy taking a rock out. Then again, it's a competition, and the rock, well, 2 times it was hit, and Italy agreed both times. It's just, I don't like being the bad guy because it's just not fun for anyone while we're following the rules, but it's just, it's not fun because I know they were ahead and they were playing so well. So being in their shoes, I just can't imagine how it feels. I honestly feel so sorry for them, but we're just following the rules.
Well, you're the ones that did it in the end. You've won the game and you're in the Olympic Games. I mean, what does it mean to you and the team and Denmark?
Well, 3 months ago, we were taking away all our funding from the Elite Sports Institute, so because they didn't believe we had a shot at the Olympics. So, well, actually going there, it's more than we ever hoped for or dared to dream of. It feels absolutely amazing.
Congratulations, what a week.
Thank you.
So 7th end. It's last stone for Diana Gaspari. So this one settling in the back of the rings, but there would be some discussion if that stone was burned or not.
A hit is a hit. You hit it like this. Yeah.
In the end, that stone was taken away, and there would only be one for Italy.
Yeah.
In the 8th end, Gaspari makes the hit and rolls out, but
we agree that it was touched, right?
another burn stone adds to the drama.
You can decide it's curling very well, and just at the end, it was after that.
The umpires cannot say if it was behind or before the hog line. But finally, the decision is yours.
And you say it was before the hog line? Yeah. So it's before the hog line.
And after a long discussion, it's Denmark's call to replace that yellow stone. So Madeleine Dupont then with a chance to draw for 2. The draw is good, so 2 points up on the board for Denmark. Fighting back. Tied game after 8. In the 9th end, Diana Gaspari with the open hit to score the single. Sweeper's trying to hold it. Just over curling. Barely catching the back yellow. It would be a steal of 1 for Denmark. And at the 10th end, not able to generate a deuce. Gaspari needing the nose hit to push the game into an extra end. Very much in control. Makes the hit, sets around for 1. And we would go 1 more. In the extra end, Madeleine Dupont's first stone of the end in all kinds of trouble. Pulls off the shot of the week. Double run and sticks the yellow on the shot stone in behind cover. Just an amazing curling shot. And that would force Diana Gaspari to make the draw. She would have to be shot stone after this. But the sweepers just lost the draw. Comes up short. So Denmark, lying shot, wins the game. And they're off to the Olympic Games.
So that's how it's shaped up in the women's side of the qualification. Italy and China in that qualification game 1, China through, and then Italy losing out again, this time to Denmark, and it's Denmark who progressed to Pyeongchang 2018. All the teams that will be heading to the Olympic Winter Games: Korea as host nation qualified, and already Canada, Great Britain, Japan, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, United States, and after this week it's China and it's Denmark. What a dramatic afternoon we've had here in Pilsen. It's Denmark who emerge victorious. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.